Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Thursday. I hope yours is going well. I hope yours will be going well the rest of the day as well. For those of you who watch my videos, if you play tabletop RPGs, and I'm just going to give the camera a little adjustment here. If you play tabletop RPGs and you are familiar with the game 10 Candles, I want to know, because I'm thinking about doing something, and it's to help out a website. It's at first, and I'll be honest with you, I was actually just going to do this and release the book for free, because, well, crafting Lockdown in the Dollhouse was actually a lot of fun for me. It wasn't really a labor. You know, I had to go back and tweak a few things here and there, but no big deal. But anyway, if you play 10 Candles, or you're just interested in 10 Candles, I am going to be writing a supplement that will be full of settings just like Lockdown in the Dollhouse. And I wanted to know what you thought of that. I really do want to know. So comment down below, hit me up on Twitter or any of my social media, because this will be going to helping out, if you haven't checked out the channel Biggest Geekus yet, I recommend going there. Watch the latest video concerning Big Geek Emporium, which will be a drive-through RPG alternative, and, you know, have a look at that. I really don't have any money to donate out of pocket, but what I was thinking about doing was donating the work, and all proceeds from the sale of this book that I'm about to start writing very, very soon will go right into the site. So I'm gauging some interest right now, and I'm trying to see who would be interested in purchasing such a book. At first it will be digital, so it will be in PDF format. And if we can do print on demand, that would be even better. You know, it would be there as an option, but if we don't have that capability, and we don't, how can I put this, we don't have, or it wouldn't help the site, then I'm not interested. I'm really interested in helping out the site, and I want to do it as much as I can, because they value creator freedom. And the philosophy is, if you find some title or some book offensive, you just move on and don't buy it. Right? In other words, the adult approach. So, looking to see who might be interested in such things. I don't have any personal readings lined up, and so I'll be using that free time to craft this particular book of settings. That way it eliminates preparation for the GM, because often the GM would have to take the 10 Candles book and then craft their own setting or play one of the settings out of the game. There's I think there's like 17 settings in there, and that's really all there is. Personally, I would like to have a couple, you know, I don't know, about 150 to 300 pages worth of settings. That way there's never a dull moment. There's always something different and new to explore. You can play with them as you please, because once the book is out of my hands and into yours, it's your book. You can do whatever you want with it. You can ignore the optional rules, you can adopt them in full, you can do a half measure with them, however you want to do it. I will not take offense. I will just put it up on Big Geek Emporium, sell it to you, and then all those proceeds would go right back into the site. That way they can afford to hire some people if there's enough interest around this book. And thus the site would improve. So I hope you're as interested in it as I am in doing it. And if you know other players of Ten Candles, well, let them know that that's the plan. And ask them and send them my way. Let them tell me just how interested they'd be in it. Alright. I don't think I'd sell, I don't think I'd put a hefty price tag on it. In fact, I would kind of work with Joe from Biggest Geekus to figure out what a fair price would be, and of course, Biggest Geekus could just take the 100% cut, and there we go. It's just a book of settings, and you know, a good time will be had by all, and that's the kind of thing I'm going for. Now later on, you know, if I write something else, maybe that. I am currently working on one. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a long time because this is just me. But I'm working on something for basic fantasy RPG. And I hope I'm at least competent in it, or I can get some help on it. But anyway, what do we need to know for today? You know, we got Thor yesterday, did we not? Pretty sure we did. And on top of that, with today being, we got Thor on Odin's day, so let's see if we get Thor today. So, starting with you. Nope. Money. So, yesterday, or last night, we celebrated the Buck Moon. It was a very special full moon. Many did rituals to it. I did not because, quite frankly, by the time I got home, I was beat. But Monty lets us know our time is valuable. Your time is valuable. And you can set a price on that time. Your time, your effort, your energy, all that stuff. You can set a price on it. As a matter of fact, you do that when you go to work. When you get up, when you do your job, that's exactly what you're doing. You are accepting a price for your time and your labor. So don't let it be wasted. Don't let it be wasted by anyone. Don't waste it yourself. Also, time with others. That is something that we have very little of, especially with our furry friends here. We don't get a lot of time with them. Their lives are very, very short. They're shorter than ours. And, by the way, Daily Bub. This is my little furry buddy here. And he has decided he's going to hop up in my lap. Okay. He wants to spend a little time with dear old Dad. And that's okay. I get it. But how about you do that over here? You can just rest and relax right next to me, okay? Okay, lay down. It's okay. And now he's sniffing at my books. What you sniffing? What you sniffing? Okay. So, the question is, if we're not to waste our own time, our time or that of someone else, if we're to value our time, how are we to do that? The Norns. The Norns weave our stories, and at the end of it, they cut the thread. That final thread gets cut, that's it. It's over. Our story ends, and then we move on to something else. Something in the afterlife. So, really, if you really want to think about it for just a moment, we are kind of operating on borrowed time. It's the one asset you cannot get back. And you hear this all the time. Someone sees a terrible movie, I want that hour and a half of my life back. Yeah. We tend to do it, and we tend to say it a lot. But here's the thing. There are things that are fated, and there are things that are destined. The things that are destined are the great things that you feel called to do. And when you do them, you are fulfilling your destiny. And then there's fate, the things you can do nothing about. The best thing to do is not worry about the things that you can't do anything about and focus on the things you can. Remember, when the situation happens to you, it might be horrible. It might be great. You can't control that one way or the other, but you can control what you do about it. So what are we emulating in nature? Seahorse spirit. So we're being told to just kind of step back a minute, watch and wait. So let's just see what happens. And that's exactly what we intend to do today. We're just going to kind of sit back. We've done everything we can, and we're gonna wait and see what happens, because what happens may actually be pretty spectacular. See, we're not going to be engulfed by the drama. We're going to remain at a distance from the turbulence. We're being reminded that we need to be neutral and gain a little perspective. See, here's the message. The real message of this is not my circus, not my monkeys. So you're being called to know that even if you are tempted to jump into the fray and try to fix things, the best way to serve yourself and others right now is to remain calm and just simply watch. So step back from it. Be willing to explore those things from different angles rather than a single one, and just observe what's possible. From the perspective of the position of the neutral observer, you'll gain a myriad of opportunities and a deeper understanding of what you seek and why. And right there is beauty, truth, and wisdom. Something about beauty, truth, and wisdom. There's a whole lot of it in the world, but you have to be able to find it. You have to be willing to look for it and dig for it. And yes, while there's a lot of it, it's rare. Time is valuable because it's rare. Beauty, truth, and wisdom are valuable because they're rare. But if you're seeking it, you will find it, no doubt. Let's have a look at your tarot. So we've got a Five of Swords in reverse. We've got a star. We've got an Eight of Swords. So right now, you're not really the master of your field. You're in a position where you don't really have your shit together. This is why you shouldn't jump in at the moment. You don't have everything that you need to do it. And you're not carrying your swords the way you should. You're not in control of your own thoughts, and that's not a good place to be. But you will find an opportunity. You will find that little something you're good at, and then this is where you'll start to shine. You know, finding that something you're good at, finding that one little talent, that one little special ability you have that seemingly no one else seems to have, that's where you're going to absolutely shine through. That's where you are going to get noticed too. People notice stars, right? People notice rock stars, people notice movie stars, people notice TV stars, people notice stars in the sky. In fact, we build sophisticated equipment to launch into space just for this purpose. We're always looking for brighter stars. Right now, that Eight of Swords, this is kind of a warning sign. Yeah, you're going to run into some issues, you're going to run into problems, but here's the thing. What that Eight of Swords are telling you, You're making mountains out of molehills. There's no need to do it. You're not wrapped up as tightly as you think you are. You're not blind, and you're certainly not stuck. You gotta shake off the wrapping. You gotta pull the blindfold off, and then you just step between the swords, and you're home free. Very simple actions, and to you they may even seem like, uh-oh, oh boy, I'm stuck. And these actions don't seem so simple. They're simpler than you think. So when we talked in earlier readings, we talked about taking your time to integrate all the new little things that have dawned on you. That's why you don't have your shit together right now. You're still sorting through that. It's okay to sort through that. But you do have a natural instinct and talent, and you need to be on that. That's going to help you with this later on. Once you realize that you've had the power all along, nothing can stop you. Go to the oracles here. So we got Lightworker Oracle, we've got Merkaba Spiritual Protection, the Pink Rose of Lady Nada, and Paradigm Shift. Yeah, I chose Radiant Rider-Waite and the Lightworker's Oracle together today. And guess what? Spiritual protection, I can tell you a thing or two about that. This is where you're a little worried, but here's the thing. You gotta be open. Gotta be open to receive a way to gain empowerment, strength, and all manner of assistance. Declutter, cleanse your energy field. Now it allows for that which is not rightfully yours to be shed. Okay, so yeah, you're going to have to let go. You're going to have to let go of some thoughts and feelings, and then you'll have this space inside you. Let me tell you a little something about this particular card, ladies and gentlemen. This card right here is showing you once you shed the thing that is causing you all kinds of grief, just like that Eight of Swords here. Once you shed that thing, you're not going to be stuck in a what now, what do I do now kind of thing. You're going to be looking at all the possibilities that you already have in front of you, because they're already there. But you got to be open to those. You got to be ready for them. Now, Pink Rose of Lady Nada. It's also a very beautiful card. For this one, it's all about healing. Remember, when you cut parts of your life away, there's kind of an emptiness. There's that, but you gotta quit looking at it as an emptiness. You gotta look at it as a spaciousness. And the fears and anxieties that have held you back from enjoying your full magnificence, well, this is here to wash it all away. All that anger, fear, sadness, bitterness, disappointment, and hurt are soothed and loved into peace. So this is a sign of future blessings. And then the big one, the paradigm shift. Paradigm shift is all about things that you've integrated. You realize things now. Things are way different than they were before. And they will always be different, because the paradigm shifted. You're not the weak, powerless person that you once were. Hell, in some cases, you were never that person to begin with. But it's going to take looking in a mirror and realizing right now, because now is the best time for it, that you have a lot to do, and you've always been able to do it. You've always been able to do it well. But now you've got to put it into practice so you can perfect it in some way. Some meaningful way, that is. And once that paradigm shifts, it does not go back. I want you to think of a person who spends their lives. Let's just say a person who spends their lives. They make these little small investments, right? Whether it's crypto, stocks, gold, precious metals, whatever. And then they start budgeting. They start budgeting and they start making sure that a little bit of their money, every paycheck or so, is going into those investments. They're buying the things that pay them. Then over time, after the accumulation, they look at what they have and they go, whoa, holy crap, I didn't realize that it had gotten to this point. How did I get here? How did I get this big, wonderful house? You know, quote a song from the 80s very badly. And then suddenly, one day, one of those investments pays off. Maybe 2 or 3 of them pay off. And they find themselves suddenly wealthy. Compare that to the person who wins the lotto, wins the Powerball. They got that lotto ticket and it just changed their lives overnight. Tell me, which among those two had the real paradigm shift? It's going to be the investor. Want to know why? Because now they're doing what they can to protect those investments. They bought that stuff so it would pay them. So maybe they would have to work a little less. Maybe they could enjoy life a little more. They gained themselves access to more energy to be used very wisely. Meanwhile, the person who won the lotto, a lot of times they end up broke. You know what? Do yourself a favor. Look up all the times that people won the lotto and went right back to being broke. It happens. For the lotto winner, it was a temporary paradigm shift, a very temporary one. They went crazy. All the friends they didn't know they had suddenly showed up out of nowhere. And boy, when that money went away, so did those friends, right? Right. Sometimes even family. But to the person who was invested, yeah, starting to get it, aren't you? I can tell. Anyway, go to the runes and cap this thing off. We have Algiz, we have Uruz, and we have Dagaz. I'm not surprised that Dagaz showed up. I'm really not. But it looks like these 3 runes are pointing at the 3 oracle cards here. Starting with this is your protection. It's your success, it's your awakening. Guaranteed if you take your course, you know what to do. That one little talent is telling you everything. Now's the time to listen to it. But it's going to require some strength on your part. Times might get a little hard. Things might get a little tight. You may have a few little close calls here and there. But you cannot let it scare you away. Your time, your talent, your ability, your skill, they have value, but you have to work on them. You have to sharpen them. You have to go for what you know is right for your life. You'll get those breakthroughs. It'll dawn on you. And when it does, you got to be ready and you got to be open for it. Otherwise, you'll miss those opportunities. And if you miss those opportunities, you're always going to be sitting around wondering, what if? What if I had just done this instead? Got to really be in control of your thoughts for that one. Sometimes it requires us doing a whole lot of stuff we just do not want to do. You know, I'm reminded of a little something here. If you're wrestling fans, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, but this story is going to be a little long, but I'm going to close it off with this. In fact, I think I'm even going to call this one the curtain call in honor of that event. But Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were in the WWF at the time, playing the characters Diesel and Razor Ramon. They had both been signed to WCW and were going to jump ship from the WWF over to that company. So they were moving from New York to Atlanta. Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Sean Waltman, also known as the 1-2-3 Kid, were sort of like a very tightly knit group of friends called the Clique. A lot of decisions were made by these guys, believe it or not. And since this was going to be Kevin Nash and Scott Hall's last match in the WWF at Madison Square Garden of all places, they asked Vince McMahon, hey, would we be allowed to kind of say goodbye publicly? And Vince said, yes, go ahead. So, after one of the matches, they were all together in the ring, and back then, good guys and bad guys, kayfabe, that was seriously protected. But they broke it for just a moment to see their friends off publicly. The whole crowd cheered. And after Vince saw what happened, he became angry. He had to punish someone for this. Punishing the 1-2-3 Kid wouldn't have mattered. Punishing Shawn Michaels was out of the question. He was the draw. He was the champ. Couldn't really do anything to him. Couldn't do anything to Kevin Nash and Scott Hall because they were already gone. And it fell on Triple H. And they told him what, they informed him this would be going down. He's like, I don't mind. And they're like, no, I'm gonna put it as Michael P.S. Hayes put it. He said, you're gonna have to eat shit on this one. He goes, I don't mind. He goes, no. We're talking plates and plates and plates of it. It's going to last a while. Your push has essentially been killed off. And we're putting someone else in your place. Even to this day, when I watch an interview with Triple H concerning that, he's like, I never really minded it. In fact, Triple H lost to the Ultimate Warrior. He was on a losing streak for a while, and those outcomes are predetermined, I know, but he was basically what's called enhancement talent for someone else for a very long time. Only recently did Triple H finally just retire from in-ring action. But for a good long time, Triple H was a pretty iconic world champion. Sometimes we have to bear out very difficult circumstances. The difficulty is coming to an end, and there may be drama surrounding it, and you may want to go in, but guess what? Lay back. Just hang back and watch. Sometimes you're always like, can God or the gods just make my enemies ridiculous? And then you watch and they just do it themselves, and you're like, never mind that. The curtain call may not always seem like a curtain call, if you get my meaning. And that's what this is about, having the strength to go through those difficult times, having the mindset that your problems are not as big as they seem, and causing your own paradigm to suddenly shift, all because you chose to not waste your time with petty bullshit. Then it's going to dawn on you that that's all you needed to do all along. Just stay out of the petty bullshit. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for sitting through that long-winded discussion there. You still have 30 minutes, bub. You're not getting fed early. Just remember, no matter what happens to you today, go with Thor's strength, Freya's love, and Odin's wisdom. I love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. Always do what lights you up from inside, and as always, shine on.